Welcome to Book Chat. My name is Bia Stengo, and I'm a managing librarian at Monterey County Free Libraries. Tonight I wanted to talk to you about a book called The Henna Artist by Alka Joshi. This is her first novel, and it's a really impressive debut. And I've heard that she's got a sequel to this book coming out because you will fall in love with the characters. So this book takes place in India in 1955. It starts, and at the beginning of the book, she gives all the lists of characters and she gives a little bit of information. And at the back, she's got a glossary of terms so that you can understand all the Indian words that she puts in there. So this book takes place in India in 1955. And it starts in a small village in Uttar Pradesh in the north part of India. And it talks about a little girl that they call the bad luck girl. She's 13 years old and she's recently orphaned. Her father left the family and her mother recently died. And her father, after he left, he passed away, but he was the schoolmaster from the village. And she's living in the house of the schoolmaster, and the villagers want her gone, and they call her the bad luck girl. So her only friend in the village tells her to go find her brother-in-law. So that's what she does. She goes to find the brother-in-law. Then, after that, it cuts to Jaipur, India, a couple of months later, and we are introduced to Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is a henna artist, and she has cultivated a following, a clientele of women in the upper class who she draws henna designs on, and they all believe in that these henna designs promote certain type of healings and certain type of wishes and desires. So they have properties to them. So they're not just designs, they're designs that have an effect on desires and healing and various things that people might need. So she's beloved by this woman. She's a confidant for many women. And she introduces herself as a widow to everybody. She's Mrs. to everyone. And her dream is to be have her own place, which is a challenging thing to do in India in the 1950s. And so she's beloved by everybody. And then one day, her husband, who she left many, many years ago, shows up in her home in Jaipur with a young girl. And you can see the resemblance immediately. And it turns out that it's the sister that she never knew she had, because Lakshmi was married off when she was young, and she lived with her husband for a while, but he was not a good man, and so she left him and went to Jaipur to make her way on her own. And so now Lakshmi is all of a sudden a mother to her 13-year-old sister. And Lakshmi is about 30 in the story. And she's not exactly sure how to play this role as older sister, mother, guide, mentor to her sister, who is precocious, intelligent, and very strong-willed and kind of adventurous. And the bad luck girl from the prologue happens to be the sister. And so this younger sister, Radha, definitely brings challenges to her situation. And it ends up that some trouble begins because of a situation that Radha got herself into. So I don't really want to tell you the end of the book because it's really an amazing book, but I encourage you to read it. This book is so rich and filled with the sights and sounds of India and I love it. It will just take you there with her descriptions. And one thing that I really noted and liked was the first word in the first chapter in part 1 is the word independence. And she says, independence changed everything. Independence changed nothing. And she's talking about the independence from British rule in India. However, Lakshmi, who is trying to become an independent woman in the 1950s in India, and that was challenging for women of any age in the 1950s, in any country in the 1950s. So I thought that starting the first chapter and the first word being independence was really notable, both for the country and for Lakshmi herself, because that's what she's seeking. It's an amazing book. You will love the ending, and I encourage you to check it out. It's available both in downloadable format on Overdrive as well as in physical format from a library near you. So that's The Henna Artist by Alka Joshi. Oh, and one more. It turns out that Alka Joshi is a local author. She lives on the Monterey Peninsula. So I hope you enjoyed this book as much as I did. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.